Hello, everybody. It is Mike, a digitalnomad.net, and I'm here in my self-driving car. If you've been watching my videos before, you know I've done a series of videos, well, 2 videos right now, with Hassan Walla, my friend from college who works for Telenav, and we're talking about self-driving. You can see self-driving car. Level 5 specifically is what we're talking about, where you can kind of go to sleep in the car. You don't even need a steering wheel or a driver's seat. It does everything on its own. And the fact that Elon Musk more recently has said that level 5 will be available before the end of the year. And I wanted to kind of dive into this technology on Tesla cars. And this video is really for anybody who is a beginner, who knows nothing about self-driving cars or even EVs, to somebody who is really like a Tesla head, or somebody who is in the Tesla church and worships Elon Musk, that kind of thing, because I may be giving you some new information that you may not be aware of, or maybe I can answer some questions that you may have or may not even realize that you have, but you maybe are wondering after you hear some things in this video. So let's dive right into it, and let's start with reading what Elon Musk said at the recent AI conference in China. I want to read the exact quote from him, because this is kind of why I'm making this video. And let me also tell you right away, before I begin diving into this, that I do believe that this system that Tesla has is going to work. I don't believe it's priced into the stock yet, even though the stock has gone up like 6-fold since last year. And that's the only real interest I have in Tesla, is their stock. And I haven't sold any. Just so you know, I have bought stock around upper 100s, low 200s a share, and I'm holding it. I didn't buy any more, but I'm not selling. Just so you know that. And I don't think it's priced into the stock. So let me read you what Elon Musk says or said. I'm extremely confident that level 5 self-driving cars, or essentially complete autonomy, will happen, and I think will happen very quickly. He said at the World Artificial Intelligence Conference in Shanghai, I remain confident that we will have the basic functionality for level 5 autonomy complete this year, which is 2020. He said this back in June, I think, something like that. And another important point Musk raised is his remarks that he believes Tesla cars will achieve level 5 autonomy simply by making software improvements. That's the quote. Simply by making software improvements. Now, if you're really into this, maybe you understand the systems, maybe you don't, the systems that are on Tesla cars. And stay tuned to the end of this video, because I have a clip there where I go over all the systems that are on all Tesla cars built since October of 2016. And at this point in time, in recording and distributing this video, notice I didn't say filming, even though everybody else says that, there are probably about 1 million Tesla cars on the road that have these systems on them, or are easily upgradable to the most current system. Okay, there are some that were built, any Tesla cars built before October 2016 feature either autopilot 1 or no autopilot and are not upgradable, and according to Elon Musk will never be upgradable. But those are, Tesla hardly built any cars before 2016. You got to remember that. They've really ramped up recently. So, all right, something to remember though, this is all a beta system. So when people say, oh, I've seen your videos, Mike, I've seen your car gets a little better, but it really can't do anything. Well, that's all that Tesla is allowing the car to do right now through software. Because I do believe that the systems that are in these cars are capable of level 5 full self-driving. And I do believe that they will operate very, very soon. I don't know how long it's going to be till they release the software, but I'm sure that Elon Musk is going to do a demo soon. If you have been following the channel, you also know that he only recently, meaning a year ago, unveiled the full self-driving computer, which is necessary for level 5 self-driving. Before that, even though these systems were in the cars, they didn't have this highest level computing power, which is necessary. And of course, it's able to be doing it efficiently, so it won't kill your battery in the process. So you can watch live stream commentary I had about that. Was that Autonomy Day? Yeah, it was Autonomy Day last spring, 2019. So actually, that was a good time to buy Tesla stock too, if you bought it, because I think that the market really is not pricing this stuff in. A lot of what Elon Musk is doing is groundbreaking. And as you know, he's got other companies such as OpenAI, and of course, he's launching rockets into space and landing them back on Earth. Rockets that were thought to be never able to be landed. He's doing that. So how do you think he's doing that? He's doing that with artificial intelligence. He's doing it with sensor suites. And like I said, at the end of this video, if you wait for it or you fast forward to it or whatever, click to the end of it, you'll see the sensor suite that's in all Tesla vehicles. And you'll note that the sensor suite does not include LiDAR or any type of other high-tech stuff other than visual cameras, ultrasound sensors, and one radar unit pointing forward so that it can see in front of the few cars that are in front of it and just know that an object is there or not. So it's basically just able to do what a human can do, only it's doing it all at once, whereas a human has limited, at least as we humans know how to use our brains and our eyes and everything now, limited capabilities. So in my mind, there's more capabilities in the car right now than there are for a human. The missing link is what is the system capable of doing. So let me get into that. I've got some notes here. You know, I think that, you know, if you don't know this or not, at this point in time, know that Tesla and Elon Musk have conveyed that everything that you see your car doing, and it actually does, is not what the system's capable of doing. It's running other processes in shadow mode in the background and just not showing you that on the displays, and it's not driving the car in that manner. But the system is learning, and you need to know, in case you don't know this, because a lot of people don't know this, that all Tesla cars are connected to the internet all the time. And the newest, latest hardware version is capable of 5G. Like I have on mine, 5G capable. And of course, 5G is super low latency, maybe even faster than your home connection in terms of lack of latency. You need those instantaneous back and forth speeds for making quick decisions. And, you know, these Tesla cars have all this. It's interesting to note that no other auto manufacturer even has one model that offers this kind of integrated systems. Do you understand? This is what this is about. Solving the full self-driving level 5 problem is about having the systems in place on a large scale to collect large amounts of data to analyze things multiple times over so that the system performs better than a human driver. And it will perform better than a human driver. There's no question in my mind. So it's doing shadow mode in the background. You don't see it. So the limits that you see right now are false limits. That's something you need to understand. And that what Elon Musk and the folks back at Tesla headquarters, Starlink, whatever it is, they're seeing the real deal. Now, also, as I was mentioning, 5G is going to be necessary. I think Elon Musk knows that for full self-driving cars. Starlink is another thing that they've got going on. They're launching like hundreds and hundreds of satellites. It seems like every few months into space. They're covering the entire globe in satellites. They're blocking out constellations, but more importantly, they're going to provide high-speed 5G internet all around the globe without the need for wired infrastructures or small radio repeater towers everywhere, all over the place, which is what the current generation of systems is. So Tesla is basically going to leapfrog what's out there. And it's interesting that I think that nobody else even has this capability to tap into the Starlink, unless, you know, I'm sure Elon Musk will be glad to sell them a paid subscription, you know, for that. And of course, that'll also help because you can't really invest in Starlink directly. You've got to buy Tesla stock. Tesla is going to be the only way right now that anybody who's a normal person can get involved in investing. But as you can see, that's a huge advantage for Tesla to have that Starlink system and be able to tap into that and connect everybody through the multiple systems. And there are multiple systems in the cars already. So that is awesome, if you ask me. And is a full self-driving computer enough power? Well, Elon Musk says it is. So we'll just go with him. And even if it's not, you know what? They can put another computer in there. So I think it's going to work. You know, we said 1 million cars. The neural network, that's what he calls it, the neural network. And it's basically a system of big data where these Tesla cars are driving around, and whether you realize it or not, every Tesla car built since October 2016 and forward, which is most of the cars on the road, is watching you, collecting data about you. It really cares more about the roads, but I'm sure it knows all about you too. Even if you think you're being anonymous, if a Tesla drives by, they could use facial recognition and figure out who you are, etc. That's kind of that's the whole other topic. We're not going to get into that in this video. But again, nobody else is doing that. Starlink, OpenAI. Okay. Record sensor. All right. So basically, what's the bottom line here? What's happening? Is this system going to work? Can people even understand this? I mean, I think that people can't understand this. If you understand what's going on here, please comment below. If you think it's going to work, please comment it will work in the comments below. So I know, take your vote here saying it will work, or you can say it won't work. You can say that too if you want. But are these systems that Elon Musk has put in place in the Tesla cars, is that what is necessary for self-driving? And then, you know, we'll be in a whole other world. We could be in a whole other world very, very soon, because as you know, people are scared. They're thinking, well, I can't have a computer on my car. Look, I've seen so many mistakes. People have died on autopilot. But you got to remember, those were previous versions of autopilot. And even those versions of autopilot were versions where it was artificially limited because things running in shadow mode are better. And even if you look at my videos, okay, let's put it this way. Let's go to my own personal experience. My own videos, I can show you sometimes when I'm driving straight into a sunset, heading directly west, right before sunset, and that sun is just so super bright and shining into the lens, and it blinds it. The car gets blinded and can't see. How is Tesla going to do that? Well, you know, I've always said, how are they going to do that? And some people comment that's just FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And maybe it is. I think there will be a solution. I mean, let's put it this way. If my eyes can see down the road, even during a blinding sunset, can't Tesla do something with that data coming in to analyze it? And it's got multiple cameras. It's got 3 cameras facing forward. If you see my video at the end, not just one. I've got 2 eyes, but it's got 3 cameras. It's got radar. It's got ultrasonic sensors. And once it gets like high definition maps, okay, that's what my friend Hassan was talking about. The need for high definition maps and traffic signals like lights, stop signs, etc., that are going to talk to each other so that things can communicate, and cars that'll talk to one another. You know, I don't necessarily know if that's necessary. I don't. I think that as humans, we don't talk to one another as we're driving down the road. We just bring in the data and we react to it. And some of us are pretty darn slow. I mean, you've met some pretty bad drivers out there, right? So there are some human drivers that are really bad, but they're still out there driving. I think that by the time a Tesla car is allowed to drive on its own on a public road, it's going to be so much safer than even the best human driver. All right. I think that that's something that needs to be talked about. When we're saying safer than a human, we're talking about the best human driver. Because like I just said, there's some awful, terrible human drivers out there, and we don't want the Tesla to be just a little bit better than like the worst driver you know. And I'm sure that you know a bad driver. We don't want it to be that. So these systems will be able to do that, I think, and I think they'll be able to do it soon. I think this year. I've got that bet with Hassan. If Tesla can show that they're going to have one of these Tesla cars built since 2016 October that is able to do this stuff, then he's going to owe me dinner. Otherwise, I'm going to owe him dinner. And remember, my friend Hassan says that this stuff is not going to happen in his lifetime. I mean, I just can't see that. I see that. I mean, if you think about all the components that I just mentioned to you, Tesla is building these cars. They've got over 1 million on the road. They've got all the same sensor suites that work with and are part of this system. You've got the Starlink system going out there. He's got OpenAI where he's analyzing this data and learning how to think better than a human. And if you remember too, Elon Musk for a while there was warning us that there's a problem. Regulators need to step in here because these computers are going to be so smart that they're going to take over. You got to do something. And then he stopped. Within the last couple of years, he no longer issues those warnings. I think he has given up, and he thinks that that kind of stuff is just falling on deaf ears with the regulators, and they're not going to do anything. And he's probably right. You know, I think that this stuff is going to take over. Whether it takes over humans, that's got to be the thing where we control it. But I also think it's going to breed a whole new lifestyle, because once this kind of stuff happens, once it's widespread, once people don't drive cars anymore and they don't need to fix them because they'll be out there driving on their own. And one of my fans pulled me over. We had a good long talk end of last week, and he was complaining about Tesla service. And you know, I've kind of complained about Tesla service too. It's not the best, although it's getting better. 2019, like when the stock price was bad, it was at its worst then. It's gotten better since then. There's no question about it. But I'd still rather not have to take my car in for service. And by the way, my car is in for service right now, getting a new screen and looking at the pump for the air suspension. But hopefully that'll be taken care of soon. They gave me a loaner car, which is awesome. But I don't want to have to deal with that. I just think when these cars go full self-driving, they will drive themselves at night when no one's using them over to the service center where they can work on them at night and drive itself back. And I won't have to do anything, nothing at all. And that's in the very near future. So if you're complaining about Tesla service, just think twice about that, okay? We're at this time, or we're kind of in a weird place. And I know that if you look, and I had this conversation on Friday, where, you know, if you look at Jeff Bezos, and I have a Facebook group, Elon Musk versus Jeff Bezos. Go ahead and join that one if you want. He's all focused on customer service, right, with Amazon.com. But also with Amazon.com, they are focused on the acquisition of things, stuff, right? And if you know about Elon Musk recently, you've heard about him selling his houses and his possessions because he doesn't want anyone to have anything on him. You know, he's the opposite of stuff. He's just developing things that benefit huge amounts of people and benefit their lives. Because if you think about it, if you don't have to deal with any of this driving stuff anymore, you don't have to deal with you know, if these robotics and AI gets into place and people don't have to do all these certain jobs that they don't want to do, or most people don't want to do, they'll do what they really want to do. I mean, there's going to be a new movement of people out there living entirely different lives, because you can, when these robots, and that's what's going to be, this car is going to be a robot, when these robots take over and they, you know, start helping us out, right? So we can be more efficient at life, not just more efficient for the sake of being efficient, but we'll be able to do, like I said, more things, better things that we actually want to spend our time on. That's what I'm looking forward to anyway. And again, do I think this is going to work? Yes, I think this is going to work. I think that Elon has outthought everybody on this. There's no other car. Everyone says, oh, well, you know, Tesla stock is priced high because it's not like a regular car company. Of course it's not. You know, I mean, he's going to run everybody out of business, even though Tesla keeps saying, well, we want to work with everyone. Well, you can do this, you can do that. Not really. He's being rewarded for making this company become a huge market cap that it has, a 6-fold increase in the last year, and he is going to continue to be rewarded by the company increasing value. And this is one of the reasons why I haven't sold any of the stock, because I think he's on the right path. He's the only one doing this. If you know of someone else who's doing these types of things, let me know. I mean, Jeff Bezos has got this Blue Origin thing, but what's he doing? I mean, they're so far behind. Amazon and Jeff Bezos are so far behind in self-driving cars that that's going to be a thing. If you believe it's going to be a thing, and I think it is. I think the EV explosion that's happened recently in stock prices, which many people are comparing to the dot-com boom, that's only the beginning, because you got the EV boom, then you got the self-driving car boom. Because if you look at NEO stock, and I own NEO stock, also a 6-fold increase in the last year, they don't even talk about their autonomy. They're more about their battery swapping instead of battery charging, which is a novel idea. It's pretty cool. But that's why they've gone up the same amount Tesla has, but they don't have the systems that Tesla has. So that's why I believe that the systems of autonomy, full self-driving, are not yet priced into the stock. Well, time will tell. Time will tell if this is right, if I've just wasted your time. I mean, there are plenty of people that think that if they really dove into this, think that this is all crazy talk and this is never going to work, and you don't know what's going on. But I also think that a lot of people are going to be caught by surprise in this one. A lot of people are just kind of living their lives, just kind of thinking, well, you know, just little incremental improvements in this, incremental improvements in that. But everything about what Tesla's doing or Elon Musk is doing is really about disruption. You can't really compare it to anyone else, because not just because Tesla's in all these things, but Tesla is about disrupting markets and trying to benefit large amounts of people. And that's a lot of risk. That's a lot of risk that has to be taken in order to do that. Otherwise, the lower risk option, which almost everyone does, is just kind of like incremental improvements here, incremental improvements there. But unfortunately for Tesla's competitors, that is just not going to work going forward. And that is a recipe for disaster going forward. And not taking the risk, and all these other companies have not taken it. They have not. Even the products they're coming out with are not necessarily any better than what Tesla had in 2012. You know, it's going to be 10 years. They're 10 years behind. If they're even that, I don't know how they can catch up. If you believe that the Starlink's necessary and these systems are necessary, and this big data that is going back and forth. And by the way, my friend Hassan says that, you know, the data is downloaded when you plug into a supercharger. I happen to think that it's probably received all the time, the important data, the data that Tesla wants. They may have more efficient ways right? Less expensive, quicker ways of getting bulk amounts of data, like by plugging into a supercharger, although I've never heard of that it even works that way. Hassan says that, let me know in the comments if you know if plugging into a supercharger does a data download on your Tesla. I don't know. But either way, just let me summarize the main points of this video. That is that Tesla has systems in their cars, sensor suites, and systems that are redundant on many levels. We haven't even gotten into the redundant steering, the redundant power supplies. A little bit, I mean, they obviously got tire pressure monitors in case a tire goes down when no one's driving the car. But if something starts making a noise, though, it's interesting, like a hearing thing. I don't know if they have anything for that to alert someone, but I'm guessing as cars become self-driving, they will develop technology where they've got things in the car that are listening. For all I know, they're listening right now on the Teslas out there, and they'll be able to diagnose these things. So so the cars have all these systems. The cars are constantly connected. The cars will be soon connected not only to 5G with super low latency, but they will be connected probably to Starlink, possibly. I don't even know. I mean, can they be connected to Starlink? Do they have to have a certain, I don't know, something big on the outside to do that? I don't even know. Oh, and by the way, another thing that you guys may not know about, coming out soon, just to show you how connected we are and how advanced the software is getting. If you've ever been in a Tesla with the full self-driving computer and with the full self-driving software upgrade and the hardware too, like I have all these different things, you can see all different shapes of cars around you. It's like playing a video game. It's like you got a semi-truck or a pickup truck, a car. They're all different shapes. But soon, Teslas will identify other Teslas as Teslas. They will show the exact model Tesla it is and the color instead of being gray. They're all gray right now. So that just shows you how far down the road we already are, and people don't even realize it. And I just think that all this is a game changer. It's super, super high tech in a way that only few people understand. And maybe even the people working for Tesla don't understand it fully because they're only working on a small part of it. That's the thing. Elon Musk has so many people working on this project or all these different projects. He's the only one that's overseeing them all. He's the only one that can see like the real big picture. The other folks can't see that. So again, this is really, really interesting. I'd love to hear your comments. And if you remember anything from this video, just remember that I think that we're going to see a Tesla car drive because Tesla keeps throwing more and more cars out in the road. Why do you think one of the reasons Elon Musk got so mad about the factory being shut down is he can't produce more data gatherers? That's what they are. He owns all the data, okay? And he's going to have so much more data even by the end of the year. It's crazy. And all this data and the 5G connections with faster computers, you just get the right programmers together. You get some kind of central computer system up there in the cloud connecting to the cars. They're watching around. Next thing you know, you've got literally data about everything. You don't have any data about somebody inside their house, but anything outside the house in view of a public street or even a private driveway, you as Tesla have data on that. He can probably start up, I don't know who they're using for maps right now. If you guys know, let me know. But Tesla can probably start up their own map company. They'll have all the information for all the high definition maps. And I'm just thinking about this now as I'm talking to you guys in this video. There's so many more possibilities out there because I think you guys know in this age, it's all about the data. It's all about how connected you are and working together, of course, and then gathering this data and using it for some good way, because you can use it in some really bad ways, as the media has let us know about in recent times. It does happen. But this is a good way to use data, I think, right? Or what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments if you think this is good or bad. These cars are going to attack people. They're going to run people over. I hope not. I would hope that those things would be a thing of the past. Car accidents, pedestrians getting killed, people getting killed in car accidents, inside of cars. I mean, Teslas are already the safest cars on the road, but if you can prevent accidents ever happening, that's just a whole other level of safety, right? And insurance costs will be dramatically lower. There'll be very little to insure if everything's going to work right. We're just moving into a whole new era. And like I said, what are the people going to be like? The people that are benefiting from this? Because I grew up in a time when the only time you could talk to somebody is with a landline that plugged into the wall. There was card catalogs at the library. They hardly had any information. Now, of course, we've got everything right here, no matter where you are, all the information in the world. It's just not yet all connected and being used all the time, but that's what Tesla has done. That's the systems that they have gotten out. It's not just that they've designed systems. They have launched systems. They have the systems out there in society roaming around collecting all their data. Just think about that. If you don't know anything about cars or anything, you know that. What can you do with that? You could do an infinite number of things if it's connected right. And it's not like there's going to be less data. People are going to be taping over their cameras, although I guess they could in protest. They could cover their cameras up. That's like driving blind. I think it's just going to be more and more eyes, more and more cameras out there for Tesla. This company is going to become incredibly valuable. It's already incredibly valuable. Once it enters the S&P 500, it will be one of the most valuable companies in the S&P 500. And in my mind, things are only beginning. And I don't see how anyone is going to catch up. If you can think about all this, think about all these things. Let me know your comments below. Wherever you're watching this, give me some comments, give me some feedback, share this video with your friends, tag your friends, because we're about to enter this new world and people need to know. They need to have some kind of advance warning. I don't know if it'll make any difference to them or not. It's going to happen regardless, and it may happen here before December 31st, and I'm making this video in early August. That's not far away, but that is, in terms of data, Tesla will have probably exponentially more data between now and the end of the year. And Elon Musk knows this. He's putting all the pieces in place before the pieces become fully available, but knowing that they will be there. That's what's happening. He's doing it that way. Everyone else is not even putting these things into place. And that's what I don't get. I'm very concerned about the history, or the future history, the future existence of many other competing companies at this point. I think we're gonna be seeing some pretty dramatic corporate collapses. That's my prediction. Let me know your predictions in the comments. And again, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for my little end part of this video where I go over the sensor suites, and I will talk to you again soon. All right, thanks for sticking around to the end of this video. I'm going to show you the components of the Tesla soon-to-be full self-driving level 5 system. This is on my Model X, but all Teslas are similar to this. Pretty much have the identical system in almost identical locations, just different size car. That's about it. Okay, so let's start with the visual cameras. Well, starting with the older Teslas, my system's coming on now. Actually, I'm going to leave this key out so it doesn't keep opening the door on me. There we go. Okay. I don't know if you can see, but there are 3 cameras mounted right behind the rear view mirror. And all, actually, Autopilot 1 systems had this. So Autopilot 2 and 3 and 1, all of them, 1, 2, 3, they all have 3 cameras facing out right behind this rear view mirror. There's 3 of them. There's one in the center, I don't know if you can see it, and then one left and one right. I think you should be able to make those out. I can just barely make them out there. Yeah, I see them. That's as far as I can zoom in. All right, so 1, 2, 3. 3 cameras facing forward. These are just visual cameras. I'm not sure if they're color or black and white. I don't know if it matters. But you have to have Autopilot 3 in order for this system to work. So Autopilot 1 cars will never be able to achieve full self-driving level 5. But level 2 and greater, Autopilot 2 and greater, can upgrade to level 3 through a computer upgrade. So those are 3 cameras right there. Now there's 2 other ones in the front, on the front fender, right behind between the front door and the front wheel. You can see right here, there's a camera. See that? It's facing back. It's looking to the back of the car. All right, here my knee cracking. So on both sides you've got 2 side-mounted cameras. This one faces the back of the car. Every Tesla Autopilot 2 and greater has this. Autopilot 1 does not. That's how you can tell. You can look at the side marker. It's just a solid piece of chrome or chrome plastic. And then you come over here to the door, and then on Autopilot 2 and greater you will have a camera. Can you see that in there? Yeah, trying to zoom. It's hard to get it to focus on that camera, but there's a camera in there. You see it? And that camera is facing forward. If you saw my video where a cop pulled somebody over, I think it got video off of the front-facing cameras. I don't know if the rears were working, at least not yet in the software. I can't wait till they have them working on your phone. So that'll be awesome. So you see 1, 2 cameras here. That adds to the 3 in front. That's 5. Now 6, 7. The other side, the driver's side, also has that. And then it's walking around the back. And obviously the one you can watch in your screen, the backup camera, is right there. You see that? That's rear-facing. Everybody has a rear-facing backup camera. And let's look at the other 2. On the driver's side, facing forward. There it is. See it pretty clearly there. Facing backwards. There it is. And now you know where they are. Easy to find, right? Now there's also a front-mounted radar, and that is behind the front bumper. It might even be down this way. I'm not sure. It might just be behind the front bumper. It's not used so much in the system, but it's there. I think it's supposed to be able to watch the car in front of you and the car in front of that to see if they're braking. Since you can't really see that with visual cameras, that's the point of that. That's the initial intended use. And then in addition to that, you've got ultrasonic sensors. See, there's a sensor right here. You probably never noticed this. These are not screw covers. These are actually sensors. There's one there, 2, 1, 2. Come around here, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 6. Because there's 2 other ones over here on the driver's side, right there. So that's a 6 total already. Then there are, in Model X, there's sensors behind these doors, behind the metal. It's the only model that has that. Forget my dent there. And then there should be 6 more of these, right? There's an ultrasonic sensor here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's your sensor suite. That is the entire sensor suite. All right, let's go inside and look on the inside of the car so I can show you where the computers are. Okay, in Model S and X, there's 2 computers, 2 separate computers. There's one that's actually behind the center screen, 2 screens, 2 displays in S and X. 3 and Y only have the one landscaped screen. That's the only one they have in the car. And there's 2 computers. There's one MCU, and you have either MCU 1 or MCU 2. Now they're saying MCU 1 will work with Autopilot Level 5. Who knows? I got MCU 2. They call it the infotainment upgrade. I got that. And then there's the self-driving computer, which you can't see. It's behind this, right on top of the glove compartment here. Driving gloves, whatever you want to call it. Okay, it's in there. It's cooled. It's heated and cooled, but mainly cooled. And I have the full self-driving computer upgrade, and you can tell by checking software. There we go. It tells you what you've got right here. Whoops. Now you must have paid for this full self-driving. It's a software option of like $5,000 to $8,000, depending upon what they're charging. Now it could be charging even more. I think I only pay like $4,000. Premium connectivity doesn't matter. Additional vehicle information here, it'll tell you what you've got. I've got the full self-driving computer. That's the one I'm telling you about here on top of the glove box. And infotainment processor, I've got that. Like I said, that probably doesn't matter. But this is just where the hardware is. I'm letting you know. This is now in Model 3 and Y, you're not going to have the 2 screens, and you're not going to have the 2 computers. You only have one computer that can do apparently all of the work. And of course, it's a newer generation computer because they're newer cars. And MCU 1 was 2012 to like 2017, and then of course Model 3 was produced after that. So there's just faster processing. You know how it goes. Elon Musk is kind of skating on the edge here of just when the hardware becomes available, just when the processing power works, he wants to get in there and get this thing going right away. So that's the idea. And of course, this has 5G. Infotainment processor has 5G. So MCU 1 only has 4G. I'm wondering how that's even going to work the latency is significantly more with a 4G system. 5G solves those problems, and of course 5G is what's needed for data transmission for a full self-driving car. All of this is just coming together, and this is the system. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks so much for watching all the way to the end and getting this little bonus material, whatever, of the explanation of the computer systems in the cars and the sensor suites. And if you have any questions, by all means, let me know in the comments. And thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Hit that thumbs up and the bell for notifications. Bye.